I'm Louise, speech and language therapist, and in today's survival guide, I'm going to be talking about how to help your child understand and use words relating to time. So these are words that we use all the time in our talking. They're in our stories that we read, they're on the television, and we have to use them and understand them to organise ourselves, to know what we're doing and where we need to be at certain times. So it's really important that children are able to understand and use them themselves. But they're really tricky words to understand because they're so abstract. They're not things that you can see or touch. So these are words like today, tomorrow, yesterday, this morning, tomorrow afternoon, next week, next year. And usually our routines are quite different. So we do different things on different days, and children are in school during the week and then at home at the weekends. And that can really help them to separate out and understand different periods of time. And at the moment, for children, but also for all of us, each day is quite similar to the next day or the day before. And so that can make it even more tricky to separate out and understand different periods of time. So the best way to make concrete words easier to understand is to make them more visual. So for time, the best thing to do is to use a calendar. So this is a way that children can really clearly see time laid out. So you can use a calendar that you already have in your house. You can print out calendars from the internet, or you could draw up a calendar of a month. It's really useful if the weeks are shown from running from Monday to Sunday, so a child can clearly see what signifies a week. And then make sure your child has ownership of this. So your child is adding in events or things that are important to them on different days so that they really can put in what they enjoy talking about. And then start small. So pick a few words or concepts to work on at a time and use the calendar to support your child with these. So you could use a sticker or a marker of some kind to point to whichever day is today. And then you can move that each day to show how that changes and how time moves on. And then you can talk about what you and your child are doing today. So today we're going to be doing some maths, and then we're going to have cheese and pickle sandwiches. You can talk about what you did yesterday and use the calendar to see what you did yesterday and what you've written in for that day. So yesterday we spoke to Granny on the phone. And then you can talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to go for a walk on the beach. And once your child's able to understand those initial concepts and you feel they're using them well in their talking, you can then start to work on their understanding of other things. So you can look at days of the week and making sure they understand what the days are called and how to talk about those days. You can talk about what a week is, so that it's made up of weekdays and the weekend, and you can really visually show that these are the weekdays and this is the weekend on the calendar. You can then talk about this week, so the week that we're on now, and last week and next week. And I generally would use these sort of hand signals to help children when talking about time. So if I'm talking about something we're doing today or right now, I'll usually point to now. If I'm talking about something that's happened in the past, so yesterday, what we did, I'll point behind me. And if I'm talking about the future, I'll point forward. So tomorrow, we're going to go for a walk on the beach. And as I said, things are difficult right now in terms of routines, and every day can feel very similar for children. So it's nice for them to be able to put things into the calendar that they're looking forward to. So times when you're going to call family and have chats with family, times when you're going to get to go outside, go for walks, or times when they can watch a favourite film with you guys or read a book that they like, so that you can look forward in the diary in your calendar and say, oh, tomorrow we're going to read that new book you got for Christmas. It also gives your child a really good opportunity to practice talking about things that they did at different times. So we have to change what we're saying to talk about things we did now. So now I am speaking, to if we were doing them in the past, yesterday I spoke, and if we're doing them in the future, so tomorrow I will speak. So it's really great to give them opportunities to practice doing that talking and to hear you talking about those different verb tenses as well. And it can also help them just to be able to practice talking about and telling people what they've done. We've all had those times where we've asked the child what they've done during the day, or to tell someone, oh, tell Granny what you did yesterday. And they just look at you blankly and really struggle to provide an answer. Using the calendar with the visual support for what they've been doing can really just make that much easier for them. And doing lots of practice of talking about what they're doing each day, what they have done, what they will be doing, can just give them that practice so that then when they are asked, it's much easier for them to give a response using their words. So have a go and at using a calendar to support your child to understand time.